And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal. We want to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so we can help you win in any marketplace. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host, and our hotline number is 813-670-7372. We want you to save that hotline number in your phone because at some point you're going to need it.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372, and also bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A lot of information available for you on our website. All of our expert contributors, our contact information there at consumerqb.com. And it's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio, back in the house. Joseph Warren, podcaster. He's a coach as well. Welcome in.
Thank you, sir. Brandon, I'm so excited coming on your show every single month, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is an awesome conversation we have. So lead the way and I shall follow.
A lot of fun. We're going to talk about your podcast, your spiritual coaching business, and how business and faith sometimes intertwine.
100%. And I have a great story that we'll get into of how one of my business podcast listeners reached out to me for spiritual coaching.
Nice.
And we just signed him up today, and he got clear on the thing that we identified.
Nice.
That's blocking him in his life in one area in his business. And he said, Joseph, I'm now clear that this has been blocking me in all areas of my life. And that's the game changer. When
Love
you
it.
set someone free from that one thing, it opens up everything.
I love it. That's awesome, man. We also have Paulina back in studio. Hashtag your girl, Paulina. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here. I wanted to share today with you. I feel like I've been working with a lot of small businesses and creating corporate events for them.
Yeah.
So I wanted to help you with some of those blocks that you might be having about your corporate events and really clear them today.
Love it. I love it. Also representing Amicis Catered Cuisine, the official catering partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show.
That's right. And that's where I found all the do's and don'ts of the catering world. As I'm seeing all the different events people are having, I'm writing all those little things down so I can give you the best advice.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so we got a great lineup for you here today. Also, our Feel Good segment coming up. 13-year-old boy buys his struggling mom a car. That's pretty cool for a 13-year-old boy to be able to do that. Stay with us here on the show. We're going to talk about that later in the show. We've got a couple of hot listings here I want to let you know about. And also, this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. They do a great job, whether it's a long-distance move or a local move. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that they are a first-class organization. They did a great job on our move. They came in and were very organized. They wrapped all the furniture, and it was just an awesome experience. You know, I didn't have to worry about a lot of the stuff that you typically would. They also are the best reviewed movers in Tampa Bay. Google, they hold a 4.6 rating, A rating on the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List, 4.5 on Yelp, and they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving for all your moving needs, and let Gary Thacker, he's the owner of the company, know. Let him know that you are a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and he's going to hook you up with some special opportunities just by mentioning that you're a fan of the show. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 207 Coronado Drive is a hot listing that we have, the PlatinumMVPTeam.com, PlatinumMVPTeam.com. 207 Coronado Drive over in Clearwater Beach, $3.5 million property, great opportunity on the beach. Look at that view, gorgeous view. If you're watching our TV show on Apple TV, Amazon, Roku, you can see that view across from the Wyndham Grand. The Hyatt is adjacent to it, this property as well. Great opportunity for restaurateurs, business owners, entrepreneurs. 207 Coronado Drive, Clearwater Beach, $3.5 million listing of mine, and that's the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Also, another commercial listing, 7424 4th Street North in St. Pete. This property, $795,000. Owner is super motivated. Corner lot, gas station. He's got a small mini mart as well, and you've got 3 service bays for light mechanical work at 7424 4th Street North in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, we're back here in studio. Joseph Warren in the house. He's a podcaster. He's a business coach, and he's talking today how business and faith sometimes come together.
Brandon, I'm seeing it over and over again. And I think when I started my spiritual coaching business, I wasn't really aware of how important, how do I want to say this? I knew that faith was important to bring into your business. I wasn't aware of how many people are going through the motions in their business, leaving out that super important spiritual side of who they are, body, mind, and spirit.
Right.
And really being stopped and blocked, even in business success. And so many times I don't think we see that connection. And I'm seeing it more and more with my spiritual coaching clients that coming on board, and we're speaking about their businesses. And then we're speaking about their home life. We're speaking about their faith life. And I'm just seeing how it all intertwines. And if there's a breakdown in one area, it's holding them back or stopping them in all these areas of their life. I'll give you an example. One of my coaching clients, and this is another story, he came to me in a downturn. And he was working in a career, doing very well. And then all of a sudden, something shifted, and he left his employment and went into a downward spiral of depression. As a man, he got emasculated. He was out of work. He was relying on his wife. His wife was providing for the household. And he's got a woman that loves him tremendously and said, listen, just, find yourself, get back up. And what happens sometimes is that you fall into that vicious cycle of just downwardness and depression and not good enough and I'm not worthy. And as weeks turned into months, it was about a year he was out of work. And he came to me and looking for coaching, and he's like, I'm at rock bottom. I don't know what to do. And I said, well, you need an injection of confidence as a man, right? Or a woman, doesn't matter. And so the first thing I had him do, I said, I want you to go out and find 7 employers, potential employers, and I want you to walk in with your resume in hand, confident, and just go for the no. Just tell them you want the job. Expect a no, but just do it anyway, right? And he goes, so I don't have to get a yes. I was like, no, go for the no's, not the yeses.
Right.
So he did it, and he's like, I set it up this way. I said, I want you to go for 3 job opportunities in the career that you left that you really don't want to do, but you're good at it. So it's low-hanging fruit, and you could definitely get income coming in. And then go for 4 that you actually might want to do in whatever industry. So he did that. He came back to me the next week and he said, Joseph, I went into all 7. 4 of them offered me a job on the spot.
Wow.
And I instructed him, when they offer you a job, if they do, say no. Say, I need to think about it and I'm going to make my decision this Thursday. So put them on hold. And he's like, won't that freak them out or I'll lose the job? I was like, no, it will actually make them respect you more, that you really want to think this through. It's an important decision for you and your family.
Sure.
So he did that. And came back, and he said for the first time in his life, he actually chose a job or employment that he really wanted to do for him rather than what he needed to pay the bills.
Wow.
And now the opportunity has opened up with that career where he's being offered over $100,000 his first year out. He's been handed keys to the building. He's only 15 days on the job and full salary plus benefits, all this other stuff. And it was just like this amazing opportunity opened up when we just had him take one step. And I have to say this as well. I have to add that's the business side. The spiritual side, he's been spending an hour a day in silent prayer, listening to God every single morning and surrendering his whole situation to him.
Wow.
So when you put those 2 things together, starting his morning with God and then taking an action step in the real world, all of a sudden blessings are starting to come in. And people are already showing up in his life saying, you're a completely transformed person. Like, what happened to you?
Wow. That's awesome.
So that's really how they come together. That's just one small example with one client.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a great formula for success. Putting those 2 things together and then taking action. Not when you have that depression that kind of creeps in your mind, and we all get it from time to time. Something happens, a deal falls apart, whatever it is. family challenges, you have that a little bit of doubt that sometimes can creep in. But the important thing is to know that this too shall pass, and then take action. You've always got to have the momentum, and then once you take small action, sometimes it's as small as just like you mentioned, take your resume in, go talk to them, go to a networking event, hand out your flyers, your resume to people at a networking event. Taking action builds momentum, and then the momentum is going to lead to greater success.
It's really well said. And for all your faith-based listeners out there, so many times I think we pray for an answer. Like, God, help me in this situation, help me out of this problem. And then we don't take that action. Well, God doesn't have an access now because you're not doing your part. Right? So it looks like do your part and then total trust on God for the outcome or the results.
Right.
But you got to take that action. So for your listener right now, maybe if you're feeling stuck right where you are in whatever your situation is, that's what it looks like, is get quiet with God, surrender the whole situation to Him, trust Him, and then look at or get coached on what are practical steps, one step that I could do right now, that you could do right now in your situation, so that God can open up the doors, open up the opportunities for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great recipe for success there. So more from Joseph coming up in the show. We're going to talk about his podcast as well, Broken Catholic Podcast, and also spiritual coaching business. And he has the First 100K podcast as well. And also coming up, your girl Paulina in the house. We're going to talk networking. We're going to talk catering, parties, events, all kinds of cool stuff with her as well, representing amicis Cater Cuisine as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Do not touch that dial. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Really excited about our TV shows now on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, and 85 other outlets. Also a part of the American Dream television show, which is as well a similar model. We just filmed a really cool episode at our new home and a Lake Life video. We're doing Lake Life in Tampa Bay. Really cool segment that's coming up on that show. Should be out very soon, so we'll be sure to update you on that. So some good stuff happening around the show and around the brokerage, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort over on beautiful Treasure Island. Oh, man, what a great time to go hang out on the beach, enjoy some downtime, whether maybe you're planning a wedding, an event. There's 2 pools on site. You got Sloppy Joe's restaurant right there and games out back, the large beach as well. Clyde Smith is the general manager. He calls it a 2-beer beach. So go say hello to Clyde and let him know that Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take him up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a hot property listing here in Tampa. This property is 4101 Coquina Key Drive Southeast. This is a waterfront, just an awesome opportunity here. The property is on a deep water canal. You got bay access out into the Gulf of Mexico. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, right on Coquina Key. Just a great opportunity. Beautiful real estate listing here. Compliments of Keller Williams Realty. 1682 Palace is another property in Clearwater. This one is a nice single-family home, lighter colors throughout. 1682 Palace Drive, Clearwater. 4-bedroom split floor plan with updated bathrooms. Hot property listings. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so we're back here in studio now. More from Joseph Warren coming up. I want to bring Paulina into the conversation. So tell us a little bit more about what you've been up to.
Hello, friends. I have been really busy. So busy, in fact, I broke a nail, but that's all right. But do you know what today is? Today is National Hug Your Favorite Caterer Day.
Cool. There you go.
Is that a real day? No, I just made that day up, but it should be, because let me tell you what, your caterers are like the best networkers out there. They know everybody.
There's
everywhere.
national days for everything now. So
I know.
I didn't know.
So I'm going to make that day official one day soon.
There we go.
Who do I need to talk to about that? I need a referral.
There's a website for that, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I've been up to a lot of recently is lunch and learns, seminars, things that have been really helping small businesses, some networking events, morning ones, lunchtime ones, in all kinds of different locations. There's even networking groups for just specific, just real estate agents or just event people. So you can get real specific. Speed networking events have been really awesome. Product launches. A lot of businesses are coming out things, we're still getting into Q2 now. And then, of course, team building exercises. So with all that said, we've been able to do a lot of different smorgasbord of delicious food. We did a lot of different breakfasts, brunch style food, lunches, of course, and then we did a lot of buffets. And then, as much as I've seen it so many times, I can't believe people still love it, but of course they do, because it's so delicious. It's the pasta station where the chef cooks for you on the spot. So we've been doing a lot of that, because
live action.
It accommodates everybody, food allergies, anybody that has gluten allergies, anything really. There's something for everyone in that one. But I wanted to share with you kind of how you guys can provide an experience when you're planning your own corporate events and the do's and don'ts. Dun, dun, dun.
The do's and don'ts
of corporate events, of course. So we're going to start with a do, and then you guys tell me what you think about this, okay? So do use Eventbrite. It's free, and you can collect data. And then you can even have purchase of sales available on there. So it's like a no-brainer.
Love it.
Right?
Great site.
Approved.
Eventbrite, approved. All right. Don't do a raffle at the beginning of the event.
Wait till the end.
They're going to win and bounce.
Yeah.
I know. It's sad but
Good
true.
point.
Do share a timeline of your event while you're promoting, because that will really help people determine if that's something they are genuinely interested in. Will they want to listen to your whole spiel? and that will be a great way to get them there. Don't underestimate the audio and visual needs.
Yeah.
So whether that's a DJ, whether that's a projector screen, people are awkward when you're in an awkward room and it's quiet. It doesn't work for
In doubt, no doubt.
That's right. That's why I work with Ian Dow all the time. Shout outs to you, buddy. His birthday's coming up. Do cater your event, not only because of my love for amicis, but you need time to create your relationships. If you're running back and forth from the refrigerator or bartending, like you really, it kind of doesn't work. So, don't hold the event at your office. How do you guys feel about that?
Ooh, that could go either way.
Right?
Yeah, it could go either way. Depends on your office. There's a lot of variables there, but sometimes you want people to get the used to coming to your office, depending on what you're doing. But yeah, I can see how it's not the right environment for a certain type of party either.
It isn't, and I think for corporate events, you really need some form of entertainment to get people like interested in sticking around for what's going to happen.
Yep.
I think that's a good option if you're opening a new satellite office, a new location, a new venue for your company, and you want people to see the physical space. Definitely at the location.
Yeah, for sure. Do present new information in new ways each time. So if you have like an annual event, do something different every time, because you are going to start to get loyal fans. But if they get bored, they're just going to go on to the next thing.
Yep.
Don't book the same speaker every year, even though they could be somebody really amazing. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Oh yeah, I love the idea of mixing it up. One of my companies I worked with was Argent Mortgage back in the day. It was AmeriQuest, the wholesale side of AmeriQuest, and they had all types of just great speakers. From Tony Robbins to Jimmy Johnson, the great football coach, to the boxer. One of the lighter weight boxers, Sugar Ray Leonard. So it's really cool. I like the idea of mixing it up.
Yeah.
I like that as well, and I think, wouldn't it be interesting if you invited like a local speaker or someone on your team or from your company to actually present on the subject matter that they're an expert on? Exactly. That could be very interesting.
Love it.
I love that. Another one is do incorporate gifts, but ones that people will actually use. Although I have gotten gifts before at parties where I got like a gift certificate to someone random and a coupon, and I wasn't mad at it. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, that could go. Yeah, I like that. That could go either way, as long as it's a relevant gift, something that people are going to use.
Yeah.
You see a lot of businesses handing out like different types of tchotchke, whatever you call it, with the cell phone chargers or those things, because it's something that people need and use. They're always looking for an extra charger.
I think that's good. And what if you just like created the gift giving into a gift exchange, so they have up to 10 seconds to find someone in the room to switch gifts with?
Have a little
if
fun.
They don't
with it.
love it.
Yeah,
awesome.
Have a little fun. Yeah,
I could do this all day.
Yeah, I like it.
For amicis, we have corkscrews, we have beer koozies, we used to have Tide pens,
Exactly.
wine glasses,
and maybe I came hoping for a corkscrew, but I got the pen. I want to switch that thing.
pens.
Yeah, you could switch it. I like that.
Don't underestimate the importance of hiring entertainment. So not just a DJ, but maybe some kind of game or a mechanical bull or fireworks.
Magician like Corey Van Balen, he's a partner of our show, friend of the show. He came in last week.
Yeah, I feel like for corporate things, people want to unwind a little bit. We work so much.
Yeah.
Like you're like, chill. I just want to ride a bull right now.
It's
okay?
fun.
Gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Hold
Mix
up.
it up. Mix it up.
Random
I like
decided
that.
to ride a bull.
Yeah.
Or instead of that, I would prefer like massage chairs.
Yeah.
I love when
I've done that.
That's great.
I've done that at our events.
Photo booth. That's my
Photo
top
booth.
favorite.
That's a good one.
And I think for the smaller businesses that are more on a budget for their events, because you got a lot of them as well, rather than spend a lot of money on all these different entertainments, maybe that doesn't meet their budget. You could create these fun types of exercises or participation things with the people in the room. People want to be part of the show. They don't want to just be the audience. They want to be in the show. So if you could create that kind of dynamic, I think that's a win every time.
Sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then for the last one is do find ways to incorporate social media into your event.
Yeah.
So not just the hashtags. Think of maybe like different stations where they have to use a different, or check into a different area. Make it a contest or something.
What if you had like a live stream going, the whole event, or a Facebook Live, the whole event, and you just pull people to come in and contribute content or add to it, so it's like ever-changing content? I don't know. That could be interesting.
That's what we do at our tastings at Amicis. So something really awesome to know about Amicis is we have monthly, well, they're actually every other month tastings. And if you're having a wedding or you're creating an event coming up, you can call us, RSVP for your spot, and try a really wide variety of hors d'oeuvres, of our carving station, the sauce department. That's a very serious one in my heart.
Yeah.
It's so delicious. We make all of our sauces from scratch. And I got a good catering joke for you.
Go.
All of our sauces are made from scratch. We buy the jars and scratch them. Just
There
kidding.
There you go.
All right, that's my only
Scratch
catering
and
joke.
dent.
Never again, I swear.
Well, that's where you get the discount. You get the scratch and dent discount, right?
No, I swear. We really make them. You'll get to check it out at the tasting, meet all the chefs, and of course, same owner for 36 years, Michael Amando. Shout outs to him. It was just his birthday, and he's still going strong, still loving it.
That's awesome. Yeah, very cool. So great stuff. We want you reaching out to your girl, Paulina, all your events, networking, catering, Michi's Cater Cuisine as well. They've done a great job at a lot of our events, and just always we get really good feedback from the events that we've done with the feedback from the food. Just a great time. We'd love to engage you in whatever category of need you may have. Over 80 show partners here, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, home services, solar technologies, lots of ways that we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Of course, the website is consumerqb.com. A lot of information available for you there, and you can see links to all of our expert contributors on our website. Follow us online at Instagram, Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show pages on Facebook and LinkedIn. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors in studio. Joseph Warren, Paulina in the house as well, in our feel-good story about the 13-year-old boy buying his mom a car, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And my wife and I operate the business over there. We've got a team of around 8 to 10 agents. Great team over there. She also does feng shui and interior type design, pranic healing. So everything from feng shui consults to home clearing, energy healing, couples healing, meditation workshops, and much more. fengshuioftampabay.com is her website. And reach out for all your real estate needs, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. And wholebodyfuel.com is the official meal delivery service of the Consumer Quarterback Show. wholebodyfuel.com. Chef prepared. Brian Adamo is the chef. He does a great job with these meals. Convenient, healthy, organic, delivered directly to your home or office. And wholebodyfuel.com. What else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Reach out to them and let them know that Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And a couple of hot listings. 1701 Mariner Way in Tarpon Springs. This property's 3 bedrooms, 2 and 1/2 bath. It's a 0.49 acre lot, so basically a half an acre lot, corner lot in a gated community. Great opportunity at $370,000 in Tarpon Springs. Just a lovely area here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 1701 Mariner Way in Tarpon Springs is a great opportunity. Really nice property. Owner's motivated. 109 18th Avenue South in St. Petersburg as well. This property, it's $529,000. 109 18th Avenue South. 8 bedrooms, 4 bath. This is a large property, great opportunity. It's got a detached in-law apartment, which also includes 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 3-car garage. 109 18th Avenue South in St. Petersburg. Another hot real estate property listings. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team, platinummvpteam.com. Okay, we're back here in studio helping you win. In studio today, Joseph Warren in the house, and your girl Paulina as well here in studio with us. I want to go back to Joseph Warren now. So we're talking, a little bit about your spiritual coaching business today. You also have your podcast. What's going on with the podcast?
So I have 2 podcasts. I have the business podcast, Your First 100K. And the reason why I do that show, I invite successful entrepreneurs to speak about how they made their first $100,000. Because I believe this is where 90% of entrepreneurs get stuck.
Yep.
And they don't know how to get through, and they're pretending like they're winning, but they're going home broken alone. So I get real about what's real. And we have those conversations. What was it like in your first year?
Yep.
What was the mental game of entrepreneurship? What were the things you were wrestling with, the voices in your head that were telling you you weren't good enough, you'll never make it, it's not going to work, etc. And we talk about those things. And I wanted to share what one of my listeners said. He wrote, "I love this podcast. I have been in business for just over a year and hit my first $100,000. Your podcast helped inspire that, Joseph. You are the man. I am a young black entrepreneur, and I've never made that kind of money in my regular jobs, ever. Thanks, brother."
Sweet.
That's why I do this show.
That's a raving review right there, man.
That's a raving review, and that's brand new for that individual. Like, he probably had a limited belief system around how much money he could make in his life in a year. And he just broke through that. He broke through his own mental game of entrepreneurship. That's what we talk about on that show, and that's why I do it. And we have listeners in over 85 countries and growing right now, which is amazing to me, and I'm humbled by that.
That's super cool, man.
And I get to speak to all those people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great, because I think a lot of times it's the, someone that grew up that way, they're used to that W-2 type job, going into a job, 9 to 5, going home, turning it off, and then to start your own business or take the risk of starting your own business and then reaching your first 100K, that's something special.
I love it. And as I alluded to earlier in the show, that's the gentleman that reached out to me yesterday and said, "I need to be mentored by you. Is there any chance you can mentor me?" And I said, "Well, I have a 12-week spiritual coaching program if you're interested." So I turned it from a business conversation to a spiritual conversation.
Yeah.
And right there, he's like, "Actually, yeah, I love that you put faith into the business. I think that's fantastic." So we got on and we had a clarity call today, and he signed up, and we got very clear on there's one thing that's blocking him in one of his relationships, and he's holding on to unforgiveness, and he doesn't know how to get past it. So he's drinking the poison every day, and he's the one that's hurting himself. And he goes, I know this is holding me back in my business.
So it's holding him back.
100%. How could it not be? He's not showing up whole and complete in any area of his life because he's bringing that same person into every area.
Right. So why is it important to get clear on that?
I think if he doesn't, one, it stifles creativity. Like, so just from a business conversation only, I see this with a lot of clients. They don't know what to do next. They feel stopped in their business. And I'm like, well, how did you get to this level? You had all these creative ideas. Why did it stop?
Right.
And then we get down to there's a spiritual issue going on. As soon as we eradicate that, all their creativity comes back because it's almost like their conscience was off and holding them back from winning.
It makes a lot of sense.
They can't win because they know there's something off, there's something wrong, and sometimes it's subconsciously they don't know how to access it themselves or discover what it is. It's a complete blind spot. That's why having a coach really helps them to get past that, get through that, and really move forward in their life and their business.
Yeah, I like that. We're talking with Joseph Warren here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. First 100K podcast. He also has spiritual coaching business and the Broken Catholic podcast as well. What's going on with that podcast?
Broken Catholic, I love that. That's where I get to go like deep spiritual, right? And I bring on Protestants, I bring on Catholics, and we talk about what's God doing in your life. And yes, business sometimes comes into that conversation 100% because we integrate, right? Our work and our personal life, our spiritual. And it's. I had a client. I forgot how long it was since you and I were on, but did I tell you the witch story?
I don't recall offhand. I don't think so.
So I had a referral from a Hollywood producer.
Okay.
Referred to a Hollywood producer was referred to me to be a guest on my show. So I was like, okay, why not? That just opens me up to a Hollywood audience. So she comes on the show. I had never met her, and within 5 minutes of us recording, she goes, "I think I should put this out there. I'm a witch."
Wow.
And immediately, Brandon, I'm like, I'm not sure what to do with this right now.
Wow.
Right, and I have my own little mental game go on. I'm like, should I stop the show? What should I do? And then I was like, I just sent up a prayer and I said, God, show up in this conversation.
Yeah.
Right, and I just went with it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. How'd you get into that?
Yeah.
Like, what made you want to start practicing witchcraft?
Yeah.
So she got disarmed because I just accepted. Kind of where she was. I didn't make her wrong.
Right.
I didn't judge her or anything. I was just like, oh, that's curious. And the conversation opened up, and I was like, listen, bottom line is this. Whatever you practice or you're into right now in your life, you're God's precious daughter. Nothing changes that. You're loved by him wherever you are, and he wants to speak with you and share his purpose with you. And she goes, funny you should mention fathers. Because I was like, he's your father, your heavenly father. And she's like, funny you should mention father. I was like, why's that? She's like, well, when I was a young girl, my dad left us.
Yep.
He abandoned us. And I was like, tell me more. And she opened up and then started crying on my show.
Yeah.
By the end of it, we were laughing. We were best friends. And God's love and forgiveness and everything was just, and acceptance was just right there in that conversation. And she goes, this is so amazing. She's like, I had no idea what to expect, but here I am speaking with a broken Catholic, and I'm a witch, and the broken Catholic made the witch cry. She's like, there's got to be a show or a movie around that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's interesting. And
so she held on to the witch idea. Like she sees herself as a witch. She's told herself that many times that's what she is. So that's how she defines herself.
I think a lot of that was in there. Brandon, you're right. And I think that's what happens when we're missing our true identity, a son or daughter of our Creator.
Right.
We search for God in all the wrong places.
Yes.
And sometimes we get into a lot of mess.
Yep.
She ended up clearing up by the end of the show, by the end of that episode. Well, Joseph, I'm not like the dark witch or evil or anything. It's more like the good witch, the white witch. And I was like, okay, got it. So she's like, I still believe in God. I just do like the witchcraft stuff because that kind of works for me. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, right?
Wow.
But bottom line, the main message was I was able to meet her right where she was. just accept, not agree with her practices, but accept. And right there, God entered the conversation, and there was healing, and it was openness. And to me, that's beautiful, to have those kinds of conversations without judgment. That doesn't mean I left truth at the door. I brought truth into the conversation, but not in a condemning way.
Right.
That repels people. Because I think that's what causes all the divisiveness in the world.
Right, it really does. So how did you feel or notice God's presence in the conversation?
Well, one, she started weeping.
Yeah.
Like at first she started like chest puffed out, like I'm a witch. What you got something to say? Like, like kind of challenge me. And I didn't. And she got softer, and there was no defense at that point. And then she got real.
Right.
And I saw her heart open up. And that was just a shield she puts up because it polarizes people. And she even said, she's like, when I said that 5 minutes in, I had no idea why I said I'm a witch. Like I wasn't even thinking that or anything. It just blurted out of my mouth.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that's interesting.
Wow. Interesting.
So I think people are searching and they're hungry.
Right.
Someone notice me.
Yes.
Someone see me.
Oh, yeah.
And when you look at them and you see them, not the facade of them and all the fake social stuff, and you just look at them, it opens up everything.
Well, there's been studies done on the number one word that's said out of all the conversations we have. The number one word that's said is I.
Yes.
Whenever you're having conversations, it's I, me. So that's interesting that you say that. So, hey, good stuff right there. Check out Joseph Warren's podcast, Broken Catholic, and also First 100K for more interesting content like that. And stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio. Paulina's in the house as well. We have this 13-year-old boy buying his struggling mom a car in our Feel Good segment, and more from our expert contributors, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. Giving a shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Now, these are vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, vitamin infusion drips right into your bloodstream. It's going to make you feel so much better. They've got a weight loss, ozone therapy, detoxification, fatigue fighter, anti-aging, so many ways that they can help you there. Amino acids and all types of extras as well. Steve and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions, one of our longtime show partners here. Carrollwood office on Barris and Del Mabry, also on Gandy and West Shore. Say hello to the friends at Replenish IV Solutions. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. All you have to do is mention that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hot property listing here over in Pinellas County, 11556 110th Terrace. This property's in Largo. Another hot listing of the Consumer Quarterback Show and Platinum MVP team. Gorgeous property, professional photography online by Fabre Frameworks, our official hotel, the official photographer rather of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Fabre Frameworks. And this one's a nice property. It's a solid home right out the backyard. You have access to the Pinellas Trail, one of Florida's most popular and unique urban pathways. And this property is a hot listing, beautiful oak tree in front, and just a great opportunity in Largo, Florida. We've also got 7911 Jackson Springs Road in Tampa. This is a property that is partially updated. The bathrooms have been updated. It's got a huge backyard, and it's a nice floor plan at 7911 Jackson Springs Road in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Hot property listings here in Tampa.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, let's jump right into our feel-good segment of the day. Every day we're telling you something positive here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we got a 13-year-old boy in Nevada bought his single mother a car by trading in his Xbox and doing yard work. William Rabilo, 13, surprised his mom, Crystal Preston, with a 1999 Chevy Metro, what she has called she had called a low point in her life. This is what she wrote on Facebook. She's quoted as saying, "I have no words right now that can express how I am feeling at this moment. I'm in complete shock. The last couple of weeks have been literally hell, filled with so many tears, anger, confusion, and heartache. Today I got a shock of my life. As some of you may know, my son William, who's lawn mowing, yard cleaning, making money machine, well, my son had a job today that he had to go do, and so I allowed him to go do it, assuming like any other time. Well, this time was different, very different. William came home and said, 'Mom, I bought you a car.' Of course, I've laughed and told him, 'Yeah, right.' And she said, 'No, Mom, I'm serious. I bought you a car. Come on, here we go.' At this point, I'm confused but skeptical. I said, 'Go where?' He said, 'With this lady.' And to much my surprise, in front of my yard, and she was like, 'Oh my God,' the woman standing there, as William said she was giving us a ride. William jumps in the car, and so I'm like, this is some kind of joke, right? No one speaks really. So looking at this point, is it still a joke? And she pulls up to the house. William says, 'Mom, that's your car.' And she said she completely lost it. So feel good story there of the day. 13-year-old buys his struggling mom a car. That's a real cool story. I love that.
So sweet.
I love the feel good segments like that.
Me too.
And let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, top tips, parting words of wisdom. Paulina in the house.
Yes. Well, friends, Easter is coming up. I know many of you do enjoy cooking for that holiday, but in case you might have a lot of family coming in, you'd rather pay attention to all of that and not have to get really busy with the food, feel free to give us a call. We can provide some breakfast, brunch, lunch, or some custom orders for you, either for delivery or pickup. If it's a really big event, we can send our staff out to cater the event for you. So whatever you need, big or small, we can definitely help you out this holiday season.
Yeah, that's a great one. That one hits home for me because growing up, my mom would always want to make sure she did the cooking, and she would, have the sisters and people in the family bring over a side dish and things. but she would just be, so stressed out. She's stressed out about it and not able to enjoy the time with the family and the members, but I just kind of remember that.
I call that the FOMO syndrome, fear of missing out.
Yep.
You're in the kitchen doing the dishes. You're like, what's going on in the other room? I need to go hang with my family.
So much work, the prep work, the day before it starts, just depending on what you're putting together. And then, of course, the cleanup of the home, that's all part of it, too, the kitchen.
It totally is. And I think, Amicis is really passionate about the food that we serve and the quality, but also to give you those moments. Really, that's really what it's all about for us.
Exactly. And that's those are irreplaceable moments.
That's right.
Exactly. All right, Joseph Warren, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom.
I have 3 top tips. The first thing is spend 1 hour a day in silence and quiet with God. Number 2, surrender whatever you're struggling with to Him. Just surrender it. All outcomes, the future, everything. You can't control it anyway. You've been trying and it's not working, right? So might as well surrender it. And then number 3, take one tiny action in the direction of what you want in your life. That will give God the access to open up new doors for you. And then number 4, if you're interested, you could get my free book, free Kindle book called Broken Christian, How a Self-Centered Bad Boy Became a God-Centered Businessman. If that interests you in any way, and it's spiritual and business, faith and business, you could get that at josephwarren.net/possibilities. That's josephwarren.net/possibilities.
Yeah, I like that. Now, so when you say surrender, how do you do that? What do you mean by that for some of our listeners or viewers out there?
Great question. I love that you asked that. So it looks like specific words. If God shows you something that needs to be removed from your life, maybe it's an addiction or something like that, like alcohol or drugs or whatever. Mm-hmm. The specific prayer is, Father, I give you permission to remove this addiction from my life and use force if necessary. Say that prayer every morning for 10 days, and God will come in and transform your life. And here's the second part. You have to believe that He actually will.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have the belief system behind it. I like that. All right, and I want to remind you of our event coming up. We got an event coming up over on Thursday, April 18th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Nickel. It's BYOB, and it's not bring your own booze. It's be your own brand. Learn how to brand yourself to stand out. It's at Nickel, which is New York Kitchen Lounge. It's Thursday, April 19th, 6 to 9 p.m. It's going to be some great networking there. Businessmen and women of all types of industries going to be represented. Real estate, of course, insurance, mortgage, all types of small businesses there. Great networking. BYOB, be your own brand. Thursday, April 18th, 6 to 9 p.m. at 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard, right across the street from the mall at Nickel, New York Kitchen Lounge. So we'd love to see you there. Come on out and enjoy some nice food, and we're going to have all types of good entertainment there as well. So what else you been up to, Paulina? What else you seeing out there?
Well, of course, you would think Florida and the wedding season would ever end, but it doesn't, because we have indoor venues all the time. So right now on our Facebook page, we have a guide to wedding catering styles. There's so many different ways you can cater.
Cool.
One of them being, of course, the traditional plated, where you order before you come to the wedding. Then there's the buffet, where you get to pick what you want. And the action stations, which I personally love, which I think make us different from every other caterer, is where the chef cooks for you on the spot and you pick the ingredients that go in your dish.
Yeah, I like that.
You're bound to love it. I mean, if you're picking it, you're probably going to love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that, because then you can throw a little garlic in there. You can do the red sauce.
Little
you can do
pesto, a little sauce, of course.
Yeah, I like that. That's good stuff. And when it comes to choosing a venue, what's important about that?
Oh, wow. Well, definitely the guest size, whether they include tables and chairs. There's some venues that don't allow candles or glass on premise. If it's an indoor venue, then you're all set with the weather. But if it's an outdoor venue, what's the policy if you need to cancel, if there's a hurricane, whatever, there's even such a thing as event insurance now. So you could really cover yourself in case that could ever happen.
Good advice.
Yeah, I like that. That's good stuff.
And if you need to find a venue, you can definitely go to our website, amiciscatering.com, and there's over 100 venues that we cater at in Tampa Bay, and you could find one that is going to fit your perfect needs.
Yeah, I like it. What's going on back there, Jose? We got 1 minute and 40 left. I got the outro running. So, all right. So back here in studio, Brandon Rhymes here. We got Joseph Warren in the house. We got your girl Paulina here in studio as well. So we got about a minute left. Let's talk about any current events, anything coming up. We got our event at Nickel, of course. What are you guys up to?
Well, amicis is having their appreciation event every single year. The Threshers have their first game of the season.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's right.
Michael Amano gets so excited about that. We are one of the caterers there. So he buys about 150 tickets, and we invite everybody out.
Lindsay's going.
Lindsay's going. It's one of my favorite events.
That'd be
well,
fun.
Of course, we don't have to work that day, and also maybe that's it too. But you get to actually hang out with everybody we work with and network. That's my
Fridays
thing.
are already a great day.
They are.
You throw in good food, great food. You throw in a little baseball and some beautiful South Florida weather. How nice has the weather been lately too?
Oh, it's been.
Oh man, if we could just have this year round, real estate prices would double.
Yeah.
It really would. Hey, another great show. Joseph Warren, check out his podcast, Broken Catholic First 100K. Your girl Paulina as well. Thanks so much for coming into the show and all the energy you guys bring to the show. It's a great time here. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing. Carry it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. There's all types of things you can do to be a force for good. Donate blood, volunteer some time. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.